This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire. The human postponer. They were the master of one phrase. I'll circle back on that. But 3 months later, you were the one doing all their work and wondering how big that circle is. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can take the hiring load off your plate by automating the hiring busy work from the initial job post to scheduling interviews. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
Welcome to Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends, where we take a deep dive into the Star Wars universe, such as characters, creatures, stories, and so much more. Hosted by Ben of Temeria and Kodojo. Welcome back, Adepts, Acolytes, to another episode of Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends. Here, I am one of your hosts, Brandon, or also known as Ben of Temeria, and always with me is my good friend, Kodojo.
Hello there.
And we are finally bringing you the end of Saw Gerrera's legacy and history in the Star Wars universe. Oh boy, does he go through so much shit.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, last time we talked, we went over all his stuff during the age of the Empire growing in power. But this week, we're finally getting into his time and role in the Galactic Civil War, which is brief. He's not in the Galactic Civil War for very long, but
It's in the lead up to it.
It leads up to it, yeah. So in 2 BBY, Saul led a mission to investigate the apparent disappearance of the Geonosian species on the planet of Geonosis. His partisan group had become one of the many cells that would form the Rebel Alliance. Saul undertook the Geonosian mission on behalf of Rebel Command and Senator Bail Organa, an ally of the growing rebellion in the Imperial Senate. His team lost contact with Rebel Command after picking up an energy reading, which turned out to be an operational deflector shield generator.
Saying his partisan group was part of the Rebel Alliance is kind of stretching it, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because they kind of went offshoot. They were a loose cannon. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, very loose.
While exploring an underground labyrinth, Saul and his team were ambushed by Click-Clack, the sole Geonosian to have survived the sterilization of Geonosis. Click-Clack's battle droids killed Saul's team, but Saul managed to survive long enough for the members of the Spectres, Rebel Cell, and Rex to rescue him. Saul saved the Spectres and Rex from a group of B-1 battle droids and a droideka, believing that the bug, Click-Clack, was key to finding out why the Empire had exterminated the population of Geonosis. Saul convinced Rex and the Spectres to help him capture Click-Clack.
I wonder how much PTSD Saw got from battling the B-1 battle droids.
Or seeing Rex.
Oh, yeah.
Because Rex trained him.
Yeah, of course, Rex looks a lot different now at this point.
True. This is very true. He still wears, clone armor. So there's that, to an extent,
Mm-hmm.
So while exploring the central air shaft, Saul and his team discovered Click-Clack hiding on the other side. While the Spectres, Ezra Bridger, and Chopper pursued the Geonosian, Saul waited with Kanan and Rex when the Spectres' leader, Hera Syndulla, contacted Kanan. When Hera told them to leave, Saul convinced the Spectres to delay their stay so they could complete the original mission to investigate the disappearance of the Geonosian species. Using the Force, Kanan used a stone bridge to ferry Saul and Rex safely across the other side of the air shaft. So,
yeah,
try to just get a mission done. I mean, Saul is pretty like single-minded, so
But
once he's given a task, he goes out and completes that task.
yeah, plus his team kind of got wiped out
Mm-hmm.
for this,
So
so he wanted to make it
he
count.
wants exactly he wants to finish the mission when obviously there was casualties. So once they have crossed, Saul and his rebel companions manage to corner Click Clack. Saul also shot out Click Clack's remote controller from his with his blaster, deactivating the several droidicas which were attacking the Spectres, Sabine Wren and Zeb Aurelios above. Saul then interrogated Click Clack and demanded to know what the Empire was building on Geonosis. Unable to speak Galactic Basic Standard, Click Clack drew in the sand repeatedly. Ezra managed to befriend Click Clack. After Chopper picked up the energy reading, Saul forced Click Clack to lead them to the source.
Yeah, and Saw was a bit aggressive here, I
Mm,
think, in his interrogation. And I think this is twofold. One, this guy activated the battle droids to kill his team. And two, Geonosis was where the Clone Wars started and where the Separatists were essentially created
yeah.
for the
Oh,
Clone
absolutely.
Wars.
Yep.
So he's got bad blood there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So Saul and his companions soon discovered the energy reading came from the Click-Clack's nest, which served as his workshop and contained a transmitter. Still bitter about the loss of his sister Stella at the hands of the Separatists, Saul aggressively questioned Click-Clack and rummaged through his place. Saul's aggressive methods yielded no results, while Ezra's gentler methods convinced Click-Clack to reveal that he was the custodian of the last known Geonosian queen egg.
Like I said earlier.
Yeah. Saul's not in the good headspace. Clearly.
No. Yeah.
Saul wanted to interrogate Click Clack off world, but Ezra objected on the grounds that Click Clack and the egg were among the last of their species and belonged on Geonosis. In the end, Kanan brokered a compromise whereby the rebels could question Click Clack at Chopper Base and then return him to Geonosis. Which is fair. Saul, his rebel allies, and their prisoner, Click Clack, rendezvoused with the Spectre's ship Ghost in the central air shaft. Once aboard, Saul exchanged pleasantries with Hera and the rest of the crew. While Kanan and Hera were preoccupied, Saul reneged in his earlier agreement and tried to take Click Clack off-world on the shuttle Phantom 2.
Didn't like the deal, so he decided to change it.
Yep, hence why we say he's a loose cannon. Very loose cannon. Someone I wouldn't really want in the Rebels Alliance, in my opinion. But, that's just me. So to force Click Clack's cooperation, Saul shocked him with an electroshock device. This sparked an argument with the Spectres and Rex, who all objected to Saul's harsh methods. After fighting off Ezra and Rex, Saul threatened to destroy the Geonosian Queen egg. In response, Ezra and Rex urged him not to become like the Empire he was fighting against.
He was already the Empire with his extreme methods.
Yeah, that's an understatement. So Saul's argument with the Spectres was interrupted by the arrival of Captain Brunson as a Quarians class command cruiser, which blocked the air shaft and deployed a squad of jump troopers to board the Ghost. Saul joined the rebels in repelling the Imperial boarders as the ship descended into the depths of Geonosis.
Yet, yeah, the Ghost is barely able to fit in this air shaft.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty tight fit.
And so they could barely go up and down in this thing without touching the sides.
Yep. It's a very tight fit for the Ghost. It's not meant to be going underground, hence being a ship. So,
yeah.
So once at the bottom, Saul and his rebel comrades discovered several poison containers, which provided compelling evidence the Empire had perpetrated genocide against the Geonosians. Regarding his past behaviors towards Click Clack, Saul argued that the Geonosians deserve the same right to rebuild as other people and released Click Clack and the Geonosian egg. See, he can be somewhat nice after seeing terrible things and, been
Yeah.
told wrong multiple times to get to this point.
Yeah,
But
he finally
hey.
understands they were a victim too of both the war and the Empire.
Mm-hmm.
And for context behind the poisoning, Geonosis was the initial staging area for the Death Star,
Yes.
and they used the general population to build it. And
Yep.
once they got to a certain stage, they didn't need the Geonosians anymore, so they
And
poisoned the
to,
world,
yep, they
wiped them
poison
out.
the world, try to wipe out the entire, create mass genocide so none of the plans would be leaked.
Yeah, and plus
It's
the
literally it.
galaxy at large probably wouldn't mind the Geonosians dead since they were that planet was essentially the Kickstarter for the Clone Wars.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So after releasing Click-Clack and taking several of the poison containers, the Ghost managed to escape Geonosius by blasting through the Imperial light cruiser with photon torpedoes. Despite their successful escape, the rebels lost the poison containers and were forced to make do with the images of the containers instead. Though Senator Organa and Commander Jun Sato regarded the mission as a success for rescuing Saw and attaining a new deflector core, Saw was disappointed that they still had not found out what the Empire was building on Geonosis. Kanan reassured him that they would eventually find out sooner or later. Oh boy, do they. Specifically Saw.
Yeah, I think this deflector core is what they used
At Chopper
against
Base,
at
isn't it?
Chopper Base with Thrawn.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
So, moving into 1 BBY, Saul was first mentioned by Bail Organa, where he gave information that this applied by Saul, primarily the new relay being used by the Empire. When the rebellion wanted to tap into the relay to learn what the Empire was doing, Saul, who had sent an astromech, appeared that stated that they were cowards as they were not doing what was take to win. After Mon Mothma cut off the communications with them, Saul prepared to head to the relay to destroy it.
This, I think, was after the Battle of Mandalore,
Yes?
because they came back from Mandalore, and Hera was coming back with a squadron of Y-wings,
You
like
mean,
half of
is
them
it Y Wing or
Y-wings,
yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. It is Y Wing.
and they crash. And then later that night, Saw put in a droid that pretty much was a holocast,
Oh yeah.
if I remember
So
correctly.
then he arrived in his U Wing with the help of his pilot Edro. When, upon opening the doors to drop bombs, he was surprised to see Ezra and Sabine greeting the two while tossing out 3 packs of photon bombs onto the relay, telling them that the bombs would detonate soon. He let them board his starship and proceed to fly out of the area just as the bombs exploded, destroying the relay and killing Brahma Titus.
I think also this episode, Ezra kind of learns the difference between what the Rebel Alliance is doing and what Saw Gerrera is doing.
Yes, I 100% agree with that.
This is it, because he kind of also agreed with Saw. It's like, we're not on the offensive enough. We're not doing enough.
Mm-hmm.
And then after seeing what Saw is doing, it's like, oh, wow, this is not the way to go.
Yep. So outside of Jalenda's space, Hera contacted him and told him to return to Ezra and Sabine. Saul agreed and prepared the process. However, a Star Destroyer suddenly appeared, forcing Saul to leave for Faros Station with them. During the trip, Saul told the two that they needed their help as, after the events on Geonosis, he did not know what the Empire was building. Upon arriving at Faros Station, he, Ezra, Sabine, and Chopper boarded freighter 2716. And I think this is Pharos. Pharos?
Yeah, probably.
Pharos Station. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, why am I getting a phone call? Oh, that's work.
Yeah.
Gosh, work keeps calling me when I record this show. Why? So then upon investigating the materials which were used for the construction of the Star Destroyers, Saul claimed the Empire was up to something. Continuing his investigation, they found Imperial stormtroopers on the ship and learned that the freighter was heading towards the remote Taunus sector, cementing Saul's suspicions when Chopper told him that they held 12 told him that hold 12 contained an Imperial shuttle. They went in and found prisoners who were either power or reactor technicians.
Yeah.
So,
How big was this container ship to hold an Imperial shuttle in it?
right?
I think it must be huge.
Yeah. So,
At least 12.
yeah, it's a pretty big one.
Yeah.
So, let's see, where was I? Oh, later on, when Ezra's kept hearing singing, Chopper revealed that Hold 17 was a restricted area. Upon opening the door to the hold, they encountered a death trooper, prompting Saul to fire at blank point range, killing the trooper. Sabine tossed several smoke grenades into the room, which Saul used to blend in and take down several troopers. And death troopers are not fun, by the way.
Yeah, they're hard to kill. Despite appearances.
Yeah. So after clearing the area, one of the troopers managed to escape. Saul wanted to go after him, but Sabine told him not to. They inspected the mysterious cargo that the troopers were protecting and realized it was unusually large kyber crystals. Saul, adamant in finding out what the Empire was building, reluctantly stayed to guard the crystal while Ezra and Sabine went to sabotage the hyperspace drive. However, he quickly betrayed them and stunned the two in the engine room.
Yeah, he does that a lot.
Yeah. That's an understatement.
Yeah, so the singing Ezra heard earlier was a kyber crystal. Kyber crystals are considered alive by the Jedi.
Yes.
And when they're younglings going for the crystal, they hear voices or singing of a certain crystal that they have to go and find. And there's usually a test for each and every one of them to get the crystal.
This is true. So when Ezra and Sabine woke up, they saw Saul. They asked Saul why he betrayed them. Saul stated that they were very close to finding out the secret weapon and told them to look on the screen. When the freighter arrived on the Taunus sector, they saw a single Star Destroyer.
Oh, risk was not worth it.
No, God no. And then confused, but still convinced of the Empire's nefarious designs with the crystal, he used Ezra's lightsaber to destroy the freighter hyperdrive before firing it into the crystal's mounting, effectively turning the crystal into a time bomb. He then freed the two, while Edro, who had tailed the freighter, informed Saul that he was outside. Knowing that Ezra and Sabine no longer agreed with his methods, Saul bid farewell to them while they made their individual escapes before the freighter and Star Destroyer were obliterated. Yeah, and if you destroy a kyber crystal or put too much energy into it, it basically it becomes a time bomb. It's going to explode, and not in a good way.
Yeah, and my question is that did they rescue those prisoners that were on the Imperial
technicians?
shuttle?
I can't remember if they did or not. I just know regardless, a lot of people die. So, I mean, that's a lot of people die in Rebels it's all off screen or on screen, but you don't think about it because it's a ship. A lot of people die. Hence why Chopper's a war criminal. Moving on, Gerrera later learned that the Imperial Metal Factory on Duma 4 was providing components for a secret Imperial project. He and the partisans undertook a mission to the factory to blow up the station. So, but yeah, interesting stuff so far. A lot of stuff in Star Wars Rebels for the first half of the show. It's mainly Rebel stuff that we get to see, which is fun. Yeah. And obviously, this is also a point where Ezra specifically is trying to become his own person.
Yeah, his own Jedi, really.
And he looked up to Saul for a good bit, and then towards the end of this, he's like, "Oh yeah, no, he's not one to look up to for anything." He has the right actions of taken against the Empire, but not in the right way.
Yeah, he's so far past the line. He's almost coming back up on it.
Right. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So, yeah, with that being said, let's take a quick mid-break, thank our listeners, and we'll be right back.
This episode is brought to you by Perfect Bistro Cat Food. Cats, this ad is for you. Has your human ever called you picky, persnickety, choosy? If so, Perfect Bistro Cat Food is for you. With ingredients like wild-caught tuna and pasture-raised lamb, tantalizing textures, and delectable flavors that meet even the most discerning cat standards. You're not picky, you're just perfectionists. Perfect Bistro, mealtime perfection for every cat. Have your human visit perfectbistro.com.
This episode is brought to you by San Pellegrino Ciao. A gift from Italy to your home. San Pellegrino Ciao is a flavored sparkling water made with real fruit juice, finished with a pinch of Sicilian salt for a perfectly balanced taste. So which flavor will you choose? Peach, lime, blood orange, cherry, or maybe the all-new limoncello? Crafted in Italy with 0 grams of added sugar. San Pellegrino Ciao. Buy it now.
All right, welcome to the middle of the show. We're talking about everything with the podcast. This has nothing to do with the lore of Star Wars. Here, we want to thank all of our amazing patrons. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. And if you too want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com /Holocron Histories, where you can get ad-free episodes or even join us once a month on the show itself. You can also leave us ratings and reviews on Apple and Spotify. Leave a 5-star review on Apple with some words or a nice Spotify comment. We'll read it out loud next time on the show, which we do have one this week on our AT-AT Legends episode from Ezra Fish, saying us listeners could be Jedi chroniclers. Yeah, you could be, but not everybody identifies as a Jedi, so... I mean, yeah, if you want to be a Jedi Chronicler, you can be. But I know we have some listeners who more prefer to be on the dark side of things. So that's why I say acolytes and adepts. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can also find us on a few different Discord servers, the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, as well as my own Discord server, the Ben and Friends Podcasting Discord, where you can find this show and all the other shows that I host, which are the Final Fantasy Lorecast, the Gundam Lorecast, the Wizarding World Lorecast, and the Witcher Lorecast. All part of Robots Radio. Check those out. Lots of great stuff. Really cool, really special episode for this week upcoming for the Gundam Lorecast, so stay tuned for that, which is going to be awesome. And then, other than that, you can also, some really nifty news here, you can also find me on the Avengers audio drama for an upcoming episode. It's not out yet, but once I get the date for that, I'll let everybody know. But I do play a character in one scene, so if you want to hear me do some voice acting, you'll be able to hear me on the Avengers audio drama. So, that's going to be fun. That was a lot of fun doing that, by the way, too. It is only for one scene, but it is what it is. Other than that, do you have anything to add for the mid-break, Kodojo?
No, nothing off the top of my head other than we're less than a month away from season 2 of Andor.
Yes, that is true. And then also,
isn't there a new game coming out too?
Also here, we also have some awesome news that I completely forgot about until yesterday, I was told. Star Wars Celebration is going to be coming out in the next couple weeks.
It starts in Japan, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in Japan, April 18th through the 20th. So, Star Wars Celebration is going to be announcing. I know for a fact we're going to get a bunch of announcements then. Hopefully new stuff, TV-wise, movie-wise. It has been confirmed there is going to be a new game announcement. So, that's going to be fun. And hopefully KOTOR remake news.
We can only hope.
Yeah, we can only hope for that. We'll see. I mean, we just know Saber Interactive is confirmed. Like, they are still doing the game. But we still don't have anything besides a teaser trailer. So I'm kind of hoping, hey, can you at least, like, throw out, like, a CGI trailer or something? Give us little hints. Give us something, damn it.
Throw us a bone and let
Please.
us know it's still alive.
Wait, well, they did confirm it's still alive. It's just give us something
But they
that's not that
provided no
teaser trailer that we
evidence.
got back in 2020. Uh,
But they provided
So-
no evidence.
no, well, they recently did confirm, like in an interview like a couple weeks ago.
Show me the evidence.
It's on IGN. There's a full on interview.
Show us a clip of the game.
Oh, show us a clip of the game. Yeah, well, maybe Star Wars Celebration. Maybe. And also, new Star Wars merch will be announced too as well. Disney, I know, has been announcing a bunch of new Star Wars merch for Galaxy's Edge. So I know there's going to be a 1-for-1 scale RC mouse droid that you can buy eventually,
Yeah.
which is very tempting to buy to annoy the hell out of my dog. Supposedly there's going to be a 5th theme for Sabi's sabers. For the Sabi's outpost to build your own saber, there's going to be a 5th style, supposedly. It's like the Reforged style or a Reforged theme or something like that. So, yeah, cool stuff. But with that being said, let's get back into more of Saw Gerrera.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Listening to this podcast instead of doom scrolling? Smart move. Another smart move? Getting help from one of State Farm's 19,000 local agents when you choose to bundle home and auto. Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Okay. So, this is where things aren't going to go too well.
The end of the end.
Yeah, pretty much. So, with his campaigns against the Empire becoming increasingly brutal, Alliance High Command, at the urging of Mon Mothma, formally censored Gerrera and severed all official ties with the partisans. By this time, Gerrera had lost his right leg and struggled to walk on a low-grade cybernetic replacement. His lungs had also been damaged, confining him to a pressurized armor suit and requiring him to regularly take supplementary oxygen from a breath mask. So he's messed up.
Oh, yeah. In the Rogue One movie, when the defecting cargo pilot meets him, you can hear the and that scares the hell out of the cargo pilot.
Because he's thinking Vader.
But you
He's
see
thinking Vader.
Saw.
He's like, oh, whew, okay, we're good there.
Yeah.
Until you get
but
later in the film.
now I think about it, it's an interesting comparison between Vader and Saw because they both do what they need to do in the extremes.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So, having previously learned that the Empire's massive kyber crystal had come from Jeddah, Gerrera relocated his militia to the moon, feeling that it was an appropriate place to bring his rebellion, as it was a sacred world to many different galactic religions. Due to the Imperials defiling many religious temples and artifacts in their pursuit of kyber crystals, small local insurgent cells had began forming in the holy city of Jeddah and against to the occupation. God, words.
Yeah, Jeddah in Phase 2 of the High Republic novel series. It goes back in time from Phase 1, and a lot of it focuses on Jeddah.
Yeah.
Like three planets, 2 of which are neighbors who are constantly fighting, and then Jeddah, which at its height was home to like dozens of forced religious ideologies.
Yep.
Most of them hated the Jedi because they were more galactically recognized by the Republic.
Oh boy, they hated. Well, one of the Jedi not. So.
But interesting, in Rogue One, you see a fallen statue of a Jedi in the desert, and you see how it gets onto the ground in one of the books.
Yes, that's true. So, from his new base of operations in the catacombs of Cadera, just a half day's walk outside the Holy City, Gerrera began recruiting and organizing the local insurgencies under the umbrella of his partisans. During this time, he also held command over a pair of UT-60D U-Wing troop transports and 6 T-65 X-Wing fighters, calling them the Caravan Angels. Or Cavern Angels. Sorry, Cavern Angels.
Cavern, yeah.
Gerrera began deploying his squadron in hit-and-run raids against the Imperial facilities in the Holy City, as well as the outlying Imperial-controlled Kyber mines.
Yeah, he turned that city into a war zone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great thing to do in a, freaking religious world.
Mm-hmm.
So among the local insurgents Gerrera recruited were Guardian of the Wills, Chirrut Imwe, and Baze Malbus, who enticed into joining by providing much-needed provisions for the orphanage ran by Imwe and Malbus's friends, Kaya and Kelly Grimm. Over several months, the partisans attacked the Imperial occupiers, leading to harsher and harsher reprisals from the Empire. The Star Destroyer that had previously orbited high above Jeddah descended to rest right above the Holy City, and the number of stormtroopers, tanks, and walkers on the patrol in the streets increased significantly. Because that's what you should do.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, this is ridiculous. Like, it's so extreme. So extreme. So Imwe and Malbus came to Gerrera asking for assistance stealing the spacecraft for the Grimm sisters who flee the planet with their orphans. A group of partisans led by Breezer Fortuna helped Imwe and Malbus steal a Sentinel-class shuttle. Under the orders of Gerrera, Fortuna and the other partisans attempted to double-cross Imwe and Malbus, wishing to use the shuttle to blow up the Star Destroyer over the city. Imwe and Malbus were able to talk to the partisans out of taking the shuttle, allowing the orphans to escape Jeddah. However, this led to Gerrera parting ways with Imwe and Malbus.
Yeah, there's always a catch with Gerrera, isn't there?
Yeah.
He's always agree to one plan only to change it to a different one.
Yep, absolutely. So in 1 BBY, just prior to the Battle of Scarif, the partisans captured Brody Rook and a recently defected Imperial pilot, Bodhi. Sorry, I said Brody. Bodhi. Bodhi carried a message from Galen Erso, who was trying to alert the rebellion to the nearly completed Death Star project. However, increasingly paranoid and believing that the Imperial spies were everywhere, Gerrera was convinced that the defection was a trick by the Empire. Of course.
I can see his reasoning behind that. I mean, the Empire wouldn't be above doing that.
He's also been through a lot of shit.
Oh, yeah.
So, to ascertain the truth, Gerrera used a Marin named Bor Gullet to read Rook's mind at the risk of driving him insane. Afterward, he left the catatonic Rook in a cell before deploying his men under Benthik and Erdro to attack the Imperial Kyber convoy in Jeddah City. In the ensuing firefight, Rebellion Intelligence Captain Cassian Andor, along with Jyn Erso, were captured. Both were on the moon in search of Rook, whom the Rebel Alliance had learned had a message from Galen Erso.
Yeah, and the Rebel Alliance actually busted Jyn Erso out of a prison because they believe she was the only person who could talk to Saw Gerrera without being killed.
Right. Yeah. Pretty much. So Jyn and Cassian, along with Imwe and Malbus, who had been caught up in the fighting, were brought to Saul's headquarters in the catacombs of Kadera. Saul would see only Jyn. He questioned her on why she was there, demanding to know if she was still there to kill him. She told him that she was there to ask for the message from her father, and when it was given to Rebel Alliance, she would be on her way. Saul asked her why she did not believe in the dream of freedom throughout the galaxy.
Yeah, it is a funny scene when all four of them get captured by the partisans. I can't remember which one, Imwe or Malbus, is blind.
Imwe is blind.
And they put bags over their heads so that way they can't see. And when they put the bag over the head of the blind guy, says, "Are you serious?"
Yeah, no, Imwe's hilarious. I love his character, even though, Spoiler: if you haven't seen Rogue One, they all die.
Oh yeah.
And it's so sad that Emily died because he was probably one of my favorite characters in the film because he would always, he's blind, but he kicks ass. And he always like I am one with the Force is with me. I'm one with the Force is with me constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And like he keeps like dodging blaster fire and everything. And all the stormtroopers like, what in the world's going on? Is he a Jedi? I'm freaking out that this blind guy was a Jedi the entire time.
Donnie Yen played him, and he played him hilariously.
Oh, it was great. So she told him about how he abandoned her at the age of 16, and then and that his war did not mean anything to her. He then showed her the message from her father, which revealed the weakness of the Empire's superweapon. However, as they spoke, Grand Moff Wolhuff Tarkin and Orson Krennic had resolved to test fire the Death Star's super laser on Jedha, having traced Bodhi there and seeing an opportunity to wipe out Saw's insurgency. Yeah, you can kind of guess where this is going. A low power shot wiped out Jeddah City in an instant and created a blast wave that spread for kilometers in every direction, threatening the catacombs. Realizing the threat, Saul released his prisoners, commending Galen's message to Jyn and begging her to save the rebellion. However, he declared that he would not run any longer and remained in the catacombs. After seeing Jyn's party escape, his last act was to tear off his breath mask before the blast wave consumed the catacombs, killing him. His last thoughts were of his late sister, Stella, and his last word was her name.
Yeah, I think after seeing Jyn after all these years, he kind of realized how messed up he is.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's like, how did I go down this path so fast, so wrong?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And then he was like, I'm done. I've been fighting this war for 20
it's time
plus
for
years.
his rest. Yeah. So now we have his legacy, so not all gone. So shortly after the Battle of Yavin, some remaining partisans regrouped and formed the Dreamers, led by Staven and Lux Bonteri. The elite Imperial unit known as the Inferno Squad infiltrated the Dreamers at their base of Geoshin, and destroyed them from within side. Another group of remaining partisans, led by Benthic, remained on Jeddah, defending against the Imperials who returned to the moon for more Kyber crystals. So, Inferno Squad, for anybody who doesn't know, is from Star Wars Battlefront 2, 2018.
Yeah, but there was a book that
because I think that's what this is.
Yeah, this is the book.
This is in the book. Because obviously you don't play this through the game.
No.
So
would have been interesting, but
that would have been actually kind of cool. Not going to lie. So Gerrera's old ally Bonteri eventually joined the Dreamers as the mentor after having contacted his stepdaughter, telling her that Gerrera's death had upset him more than he could realize, and asked for amnesty in exchange for surrendering to the Empire and disclosing all his information on the Rebel Alliance and their operations. She gave him a list of specific times and locations where he could turn himself in. Bonteri, however, instead used the locations to give Staven a supplies of targets to hit. Bum.
Yeah, and this Bonteri was the kid who was in that love square with Ahsoka and Stella and Saw.
Yep. Yes. I'm trying to remember who his stepdaughter is.
It was nobody. He got married later on to some woman.
Oh. And
it wasn't really mentioned, and it always says that he had a stepdaughter who joined the Imperials at some point.
Gotcha. And then by the time of their New Republic, some, like the centrist junior senator Ransom Castrofo, remembered Saw Gerrera and his partisans as violent extremists who represented the worst of the Rebel Alliance. Castrofo cited Saw's actions as evidence of the Alliance's alleged atrocities during a political discussion with the populist senior senator Leia Organa.
Yeah, the Centralists are the leftover Imperial remnants who dug their way into the New Republic.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Politics. Oh boy. And then last but not least, we do have some behind the scenes. So, the character of Saw Gerrera was voiced in Star Wars The Clone Wars and Star Wars The Bad Batch by Andrew Kishino. Saw Gerrera was played by Forrest Whitaker in 2016 Star Wars anthology film Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, who returned to voice the character in Star Wars Rebels and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. He was originally conceived by Star Wars creator George Lucas for the unproduced live-action television series Star Wars Underworld.
Yeah.
Which would have been a really cool TV show, by the way.
Yeah, I
if they
think
actually
so.
went with it.
But all credit to Forrest Whitaker for doing such a great job with Saw Gerrera.
Oh my God, such a great! And I loved how I didn't realize he was the voice in Star Wars Rebels. I knew he was the voice in Fallen Order because they just literally used his likeness.
Yeah,
they mocapped
full
him.
likeness.
Yeah, but I didn't realize he voiced him in Rebels, which is pretty cool. Obviously, different voice in Bad Batch and Clone Wars because he's much younger.
Oh yeah.
So, according to the character's name, is a mnemonic riff in real life Argentinian revolutionary and associate of Castro, Genevera.
Saw Gerrera.
Thank you. I don't know words. As revealed in The Art of Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. Lucasfilm's story group, Kiri Hart, was one who just suggested that the character be used in Rogue One, another inspiration of Gerrera's character, according to Phil... Oh, God. Zostock?
Yeah.
Was Marlon Brando's Colonel Kutz from Francis Ford's
Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, 1979 film, Apocalypse Now, which I've never heard of. According to writer Gary Whitta, Forrest Whitaker, thank you, was the only actor they considered to play Gerrera in Rogue One. Oh, that's cool. He was the first pick and only pick.
Yeah. Saw Gerrera was an extremely violent revolutionist, and apparently it was popular to have his face on merchandise. It's like, no, he's a mass murderer, an extreme psychopath.
And then Whitaker reprised his role as Gerrera in the episodes Narkina 5 and Daughter of Ferrix in the Andor television series. Executive producer and writer Tony Gilroy wanted Gerrera and the other legacy characters to not provide the fan service. The night before a rehearsal for Gerrera and Luthen Rao's argument in Narkina 5, Whitaker asked director Toby Haynes questions about backstory and kyber crystals.
Okay.
That's nifty. He needs the context. I mean, it's also been, almost a decade.
Yeah.
Since he first played the character. So, yeah, and he also didn't get all the kyber crystal stuff. I mean, I guess he did because he voiced him in Rebels, but he didn't really need
but he
context.
He might have said the lines, but he probably didn't know the meaning behind kyber crystals.
Right. And then during the rehearsal, Whitaker and Rao's actor Stellan Skarsgård read the scene for the first time and went at each other. According to Hines, when the scene was filmed for real, Whitaker and Skarsgård almost deconstructed what they did in a natural and spontaneous way. They then had to completely reconstruct the scene, and then it was hard to get into the same pitch. Hines wanted to end Gerrera's rant with a very direct, face-on shot of Whitaker to build the intensity and bring the audience into the argument. To accomplish this, Hines had Whitaker do his speech several times, telling him to go crazy with it.
So I kind of wonder how they deconstructed that scene.
Yeah, I do too. That's kind of interesting. I do like behind the scenes stuff. It's really cool,
Yeah.
especially knowing mostly actors that are in Star Wars like Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
It's so great. It's so great to see. Um, so, and we do also, we have Andor season 2 finally coming out at the end of the month after Star Wars Celebration. So,
Yep.
gonna be
About
super
2
excited for
days.
that. 2
2
days
days.
after 2 days after Star Wars Celebration ends, we get Andor season 2 or final season because it's only going to be 2 seasons. So, yeah, exciting stuff.
Yep.
But I have nothing else to add for this show for Gerrera. Do you have any final thoughts or anything for Gerrera?
He was a good man with good intentions that just went down a dark path.
Yep, absolutely. So, if you have any other characters that you would like us to go over, let us know in the comments or reviews on Apple and Spotify. I know we did get a request to possibly do the Legends History of Luke, which would be a lot. That's like a 6-part episode. Obviously, we will skip
Minimum.
everything past the movies. But that's a lot. Like a lot. So, if you have any other characters, let us know in the comics and reviews and all that fun stuff. And yeah, everybody, thank you for listening to Holocron Histories, and may the Force be with you.
Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends. You can find us on the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, the Ben and Friends podcasting Discord, where you can share your thoughts, experiences, and love for the Star Wars lore. And don't forget, for the Republic!
At ZocDoc, we know being a healthy adult is like living in a video game. Every day has side quests, taxes, laundry, birthdays, and just when you're leveling up, you have to book a doctor. The insurance portal crashes, they put you on hold, your doctor doesn't take your plan, game over. We see you, so we made booking a doctor easy. Download ZocDoc, search by specialty, insurance, and availability. Book instantly, no cheat codes required. Find a doctor you love with ZocDoc.